Good morning. I hope you've been enjoying the videos I've been putting up. It's charting my course across the Alps. Today I'm at a village outside of Bolzano, Italy, in a place called Seg. It's a two-star guest house, very nice. Costed me about 70 euros. Great meal last night here yesterday. I had a pizza, it was very nice, and a dessert, and had a simple breakfast this morning, which is included in the pricing. I'm all loaded up, gotten more efficient in my packing. So I packed the previous day's clothes back in the panniers and take what I need to freshen up and put it into this bag here. That's the only thing that I remove off the bike, besides the camera, of course. So today I'm headed to do 4 passes in the Dolomites region of Italy, the mountains. I'm going to do Gardena, Pordoi Pass, a couple others I forget the names of, but there are 4 passes in a tight circle around the Sella mountain.
A lot of people swear that the best riding in Europe is actually in the Dolomites and not in France, Switzerland, and Austria. I'm gonna find out, and so will you. Oh, the road is paved beautifully up Gardena Pass. Really nice. Heated grips turned on. When I'm out of this curve, I'll let you know what the temperature is. It's 4 degrees right now, and I expect it to be close to 0. Looks like I've reached more or less the summit of the Gardena Pass. Well, Gardena, a couple more hairpins to go. This looks like it.
Very, very impressive. It's -2, but doesn't feel like it.
They are a sight to behold. Something very imposing, challenging, majestic about these mountains. Dropped to 0 already. Still have another 2 kilometers to go to the summit. So it is going to be freezing there for sure. See you a little later. So the interesting thing, like I mentioned to you guys earlier, is that it's a square around the main mountain here on the right hand side, which is called Sella Ronda. So all 4 passes today are going to be with the Sella Ronda on our right hand side. It's not as windy as yesterday and day before yesterday, which is a big blessing. Otherwise it's impossible to stay for more than a minute at the summit.
Riananya, on my trip now, I'm at the Pordoi Pass and I met this bunch of awesome motorcyclists. And there's something very, very special that I'm going to show you now. Gentlemen, and what's your name? Flo. Flo travels with Jussie? Truxie. And Truxie is safely hidden away in that bag there. And
No, not in the back.
not the bag?
No.
Okay, we're going to
On
show
the
you.
front.
Oh, in the front? Okay. Truxie goes into the tank bag like that. Isn't that so cool? And she stays warm. Warm.
Yes, I can.
You can close that and yeah.
Yeah.
The heat of the engine, she stays warm. That is so good. That's awesome. Well done. Big thumbs up.
So that's a very nice French guys, 3 of them riding, one from Montpellier, one from Marseille and one from Paris. They saw my French plates and started talking to me in French. And I explained to them that I don't speak French. 27 switchbacks on the way down. We're headed to Sella. Very cute little doggy that one of them carries on all his rides. Small little doggy sits in a tank bag that's warmed up. Very nice. So going down and then going up to Sella Pass. That's going to be my final pass for the day before I head to Austria and mentally remind myself that I need to pick up the Austrian vignette, which is the toll sticker for riding on Austrian toll roads. It's mandatory, but as against the Swiss toll sticker, which I bought a few days back, is valid for an entire year. Well, not entire year, it's valid till January 31st the next year. So I picked it up in September, it's valid till January 31st, but if you picked it up in January, it's actually going to be valid for 13 months. And for the whole year. But as against that, Austria gives you the option of picking up toll stickers for 10 days, a month and a year. So which makes more sense. I think it's going to be about 6-8 euros for the 10 days that I'm going to be taking the toll sticker for, because I do touch Austria on the way back from Slovenia. So I got to cover that as well. So I'm buying the 10-day toll pass. The quality of the tarmac is just fabulous. Freshly laid. These are much more forgiving hairpins compared to Stelvio and the other ones that I've been on lately. It's a nice view on the right that shows you. I'll raise the camera for you to have a look. Shows you the twisties. Camera's probably bobbing a bit. It's raised on its selfie stick. So just ride a little slow.
Also want to talk about
speed traps in put my visor down. Speed traps in Italian villages. So all these little villages that you see, the speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour. I got cruise control on this, so what I do is I generally put it on cruise control when I enter the city. But there are these yellow boxes, and there's a little sign about 100 or so meters before you hit the yellow box that electronic surveillance, etc., etc. So these yellow, it's not yellow actually, it's more like orange boxes. These orange boxes have a sensor, a radar in the front and a camera at the rear of it. So when it senses that somebody is above the speed limit, it activates the camera. So when you pass the sensor, it takes a picture of your number plate and you get your ticket in the mail. So one of the things that I mentioned in the previous video is what I do to ride on the twisties. I forgot to mention one thing that I do, especially in hairpin bends or switchbacks. See a camera here, I don't know if I'm speed limit. Oh well. I don't know what the posted speed limit here is. Okay, so what I was saying is, one of the things that I do when in a hairpin, at the apex of the hairpin, is I do drag on my rear brakes a bit, just for some additional control, and also getting the rear tire grounded a little bit more, so that it doesn't slide underneath me. Now, I used to do this instinctually, but like for instance now, that's where I'm putting my rear brake on. It's continuing on, and now I've released it. There again, rear brake is on. It's not a lot, it's just dragging on it just to give the rear a little bit of bite. Oh, I'm glad I'm recording this entire thing. This is really, really awesome. Well banked. Very nice. Fresh tarmac. Yeah, so far Pordoi is really living up to the review that I read. Some obscure website, I think. Otherwise, typically people skip Pordoi and go to Sella. Not these two guys, they're smart ones. Completely been here at Sella Pass. I'm going to give you a view. Spectacular. Not very windy. This one's nice, but about 0 degrees or so. Decided to stop for lunch here. I need to kill some time before I get to my hotel. Check-in there is only at 3 o'clock. So I'm gonna get some lunch here. See you guys later. So that was a good lunch at Sella Pass. Expensive, but only expected. There are only a couple of restaurants there and they've got to make a living. So now headed down, and like I mentioned in the opening bit this morning, I'm going to be covering Gardena Pass again in order to head east to Lienz, which is in Austria. Okay, I'm in Austria,
And to accompany my Swiss vignette, I've got my Austrian vignette. It's valid for 10 days. It costed me €5.60.
So in Austria, the speed limits are 30 kilometers an hour in city center, village center, kind of a thing. 60 kilometers as you're exiting that. As soon as you leave city or village limits, it becomes 80 kilometers an hour, like it is now. If it's a highway which is undivided, it's 100 kilometers an hour, and the expressways, toll expressways, are 130 kilometers an hour. In earlier video, I'd spoken about how Italy has better speed limits. Actually, it's the opposite. Italy's same thing is 50, 70, and 110 for the